be on time, put out the extra effort, goes back to how you're raised. And when I was raised is no matter what you're going to be in life, be the best,
Raised to be the best at whatever he did, owner-operator John Treadway is clearly working hard to achieve that lofty goal with his one-truck business. Two-truck business, I should say. With Treadway trucking with his own authority, mostly in a stunningly beautiful 1998 Peterbilt 379 he calls Teal Appeal. But with the 2006 model Pete, he keeps as a spare to run in winter on those treated Indiana roads around his home base and as fail-safe to serve his central customer. He hauls flowers year-round for a greenhouse operation there near his base in Kokomo, Indiana, with his Tway Rose transport, now with authority for going on a decade after some decades more leased to other companies. I'm Todd Dills, your host for this October 27th edition of the Overdrive Radio podcast featuring Treadway, our Trucker of the Month for September, and who will compete for the 2025 Trucker of the Year honor with 9 other owner-operators we've been highlighting throughout the year. Keep tuned for that final 10th owner's story later this week at overdriveonline.com, where you can also find our senior editor Matt Cole's story about John Treadway, if you missed it several weeks back. We're at the business of sending accolades out where they're due. I want to shout out our small fleet champs. Had a great time with them this last week, Thursday, October 23rd, at the National Association of Small Trucking Companies annual conference in Nashville to introduce the winners and fellow finalists to the hundreds assembled for the opening night dinner and program. Winning in the 3 to 10 truck division were Wes and Laura Oberman of Oberman Logistics, and in the 11 to 30 truck category, Thomasville Furniture Express out of Thomasville, North Carolina. Big congrats to both, and likewise the fleets that joined them on the stage. Impressive, no doubt, in their own rights. New York-based owner-operator Clifford Hay, the second of 6-truck Clifford Hay Incorporated, and 29-truck Turnage & Sons, Robbie and Lori Turnage, out of Tylertown, Mississippi. Big congrats to all 4 fleets, and thanks for joining me and everybody at the event, no doubt, and hope you all enjoyed the time in downtown Nashville. And for the listeners here, keep tuned for a roundtable talk with all in attendance, conducted just ahead of the event. No shortage of wisdom shared amongst this group, no doubt. Owner-operator John Treadway, too, is a big resource in that department, trucking as an owner-operator now going back to his early days when he got his start with the 1990 purchase of a 1985 Kenworth Liberty Edition cabover he used to haul grain with his older brother, eventually moving on to pull flatbeds and a variety of other trailers. It's reefer work, though, as noted, these days for the flower operation. And since we saw his tractor at Matt's early this year, he's put work into his 2017 Great Dane reefer to match the lines and colors of Teal Appeal, the 1998 Pete, as you'll hear in the podcast today, featuring Matt Cole's in-depth conversation with the Trucker of the Month. John Treadway's built a life around trucking, that's certain, always with an awareness of what it takes to build success as a one-truck owner, and have a little fun along the way, too.
One of my good friends told me that long time ago to be an owner-operator, that's a 364-day-a-year job. So, it really is. It's always on your mind. You're driving through the day, you're hauling the loads, but it don't stop. The weekend comes, and you've got repairs and to do, and then on top of that, if you want to add a piece of chrome or something, you got to try to fit all that in. So it's just the grind to it. You just got to keep grinding and keep moving forward.
His initial attraction to the business of trucking stretches all the way back to his childhood, and admiration for the owners he idolized in and around that hometown, where we'll pick up his story with senior editor Matt Cole asking the questions here today. So, keep tuned. Ask any driver. Wind or diesel problems don't happen all at once. That's why Howe's Products offers total performance and protection. Diesel Defender cleans and prepares your system so you start off the season strong. Before cold hits, dose up with Diesel Treat to keep fuel flowing all winter long by preventing gelling in even the harshest temps. And if you do ever get stuck, Howe's Diesel Lifeline is your rescue, reliquefying gelled fuel fast. With Howe's, you don't just face winter, you beat it. Visit HOWES, HowesProducts.com for more. Here's Treadway. tracking back to those who inspired him as a child and then as a young man toward business ownership.
Well, I think it goes back to being a kid, and I seen all the guys around the neighborhood driving the cool trucks, and then lived in a little town where there was a little elevator, and they would come in with some old A models, and of course I didn't know what that was at the time, but just cool looking trucks and load ag products and haul them out. And then through the years, my brother became a truck driver, and seeing how that was going for him, and he would bring a truck home for the weekends, and I would sneak out there and jump in it and pull it forward in the driveway and back it up and think that I was being really cool, and it just kind of led off from there. And other people in the neighborhood, the guys, just driving trucks, it was cool. They, you always noticed them by their truck and what type of truck it was, and that's the one I want when I grow up, And so, after getting out of high school, I think I was 20 years old and I purchased my first truck, and it's kind of went from there. Started off hauled grain with my brother, and kind of left that platform and went on to haul some flatbeds and different trailers throughout the years, and of course, selling one truck and getting another, and finally getting out onto the road, and you just seen all the nice trucks, and dreamed someday of having something like that. We called them the big boys. There's always had a lot of chrome, or the truck was clean, and you never knew their names, but you knew them by that truck. And it's just always a vision I had of someday of doing something similar to that. And then I went on to get into the reefer division and haul reefer trailers for the last 20 years or so. And I currently haul flowers for a flower company out of Westfield, Indiana, and I primarily do that. Haul some melons and pumpkins and things like that on the side when I'm not hauling the flowers. 35 years of it so far, so hope to continue my career and until I can't do it no more.
What year was it when you bought that first truck?
I believe I was back in 1990. I bought a cabover Liberty Limited Edition, first truck I had, and then since then I've purchased. After that, I purchased a '92 Peterbilt, and that was in 1995. And then in 1997, I traded that '92 in for a brand new '97, and now I currently own a 1998 Peterbilt. So I've kind of went backwards, but just the old trucks are my thing, and all my buddies, we all have older trucks, and that's just our era that we want to stick in.
All right. And what year did you start Tway Rose?
Tway Rose was formed in December of 2019. I'd been leased onto other companies throughout the years, and was leased onto a buddy of mine, and then decided to go off on my own. I had a chance to get in hauling these flowers that I currently haul full time, so I decided to go that route.
So it was just kind of a situation where kind of all the stars aligned, and you felt like it was the right time to jump out on your own.
Absolutely. I've been very fortunate, doing what I'm doing, and the help from friends and family, and always forget to mention my guys up at the parts store. We always get chrome, and you keep your truck shiny, but you got to keep them going down the road mechanically. And the guys up at Road Truck Equipment in Kokomo, Indiana, really take care of me up there, and I appreciate everything they do. Those guys do most of your maintenance for you, or do you do some of it yourself? They do a little bit of the maintenance. I have a couple other places that do some maintenance, and a buddy of mine lets me come over to his shop, and we do a lot there. Some of the smaller things, but for the most part, just getting help from friends is really a big thing nowadays, that we all try to, one guy's truck needs something, we all kind of try to gather around and help get that guy going. Direct customers with the greenhouses near you? Yes, it's a greenhouse out of Westfield, Indiana. Other reefer freight, is that through brokers, or do you have direct relationships for those loads as well? It's through a broker, but I'm kind of direct on that also. I kind of got a little inside on that. That helps a bunch. Brokers nowadays that's a tough world.
how have you been able to keep, your customers happy? A lot of times it's tough for the one truck guys without the capacity to, to haul more. What's been your secret to maintaining that relationship?
A lot of luck. I mean, like I said, it takes a lot of sweat and tears and dedication. I also purchased another truck here a few years ago. It's a 2006 Peterbilt. So, I'm not necessarily under a contract with the flower place, but I like to provide that service. So when one truck's down, I have the alternative to get in the other one, and just keep right on moving with them, and try not to miss loads, be on time, put out the extra effort. Goes back to how you're raised. And when I was raised, is no matter what you're going to be in life, be the best. So I try to put out the extra effort and try to lead by example to friends or an upcoming younger truck driver that sees it and sees what it takes. One of my good friends told me to long time ago to be an owner operator, that's a 364-day a year job. So it really is. It's always on your mind. You're driving through the day, you're hauling the loads, but it don't stop. The weekend comes and you've got repairs and to do, and then on top of that, if you want to add a piece of chrome or something, you got to try to fit all that in. So it's just the grind to it. You just got to keep grinding and keep moving forward.
How far out from Indiana do you typically go?
Well, anymore, I typically run only the state of Indiana.
Okay.
We venture out to Ohio. We have stores in Cincinnati and Toledo, Ohio. We get over into Illinois, Springfield, Peoria, Illinois. Run up into Michigan a little bit, but I normally just haul multiple loads a day, 4, 5, 6 loads a day for them. And I just mainly run the Indiana. During our springtime, it's the big rush, springtime flowers. You got, Easter in there and Mother's Day. Memorial weekend is always a big sell for flowers. So, it's 6-7 days a week. A lot of times during that few months right there, early spring to mid-June. Now 4 or 5 days a week is what I run now during mow season. Part of trying to help keep the customer happy, I haul the multiple loads. So I might be in the state of Indiana and I might only be 10, 15 miles away from home, but that's just where I stop and sleep that night, so I can just keep moving and I can deliver 24 hours a day, pick up 24 hours a day. So I just run as many as I can, and then when it's time to go to bed, wherever I'm at, that's where I sleep that night.
Since you're running pretty much just Indiana, do you qualify for the short haul exemption or anything like that?
I believe I do. I also run the ag exemption a lot.
Oh, ag,
short
right,
haul
right.
Short haul is also an option that we can go by within the 150-mile radius. So that helps a lot. It's also, I don't know that I actually get any more miles or anything because of it, but it just helps while loading and unloading a lot of times. Well, I try to change my oil every 10,000 miles. A lot of the oil companies nowadays, state that you can go longer than that, 15 to 20,000 miles, but I've always stuck with the 10,000 miles. I try to use the same products, oil and grease, and then I'm lubing the truck every couple weeks. Your general maintenance is really important. While you're doing that, you can also look over the truck and find something that's maybe a little deeper to scale that you're going to have to be fixing right away, or you'll at least know that that's coming up and get prepared for it. I don't really have a shop myself. I keep some oil. I keep my oil, my filters, little things like that, air filters, oil filters, fuel filters on hand. I have a shed there at the house, and I keep all the stuff in that. The other bigger stuff, I just order as I need it. Like I said, the guys up there at Row, they help me out quite a bit. Sometimes I'm a little more difficult than the next guy, and I appreciate their patience. So sometimes I want a different brand than they might have, or a special color or chrome or something like that. And they really do what they can to satisfy my needs. And sometimes
Yeah.
it's a little harder than than it needs to be.
Takes a lot of work to maintain a truck like yours.
It really does. That's you've got to have the maintenance first of all. You got to be able to run it down the road, and that's the glory
Right.
of it. When I did the truck, I never thought it would prosper out into what it has, and guys have asked me, do I drive it? Am I going to continue to drive it? Am I just going to take it to shows? Well, I didn't build a show truck. It's kind of turned into that.
Mhm.
And the glory of it and the fun of it, the big trophy is driving it every day. So I'm going to keep it as well maintained as I can with adding some chrome.
Yeah. Back at Mid-America, we talked a lot about your truck, Teal Appeal. Have you done anything new to it since that show?
Yeah, I've made some changes. Teal Appeal was originally designed off of, and like I say, I'd have to go back a little bit when running down the road and seeing all the nicer trucks back in the day, and they all had a special feature about them, and that's how you notice the guy, as I stated. So mine was, I've had the teal collar in my blood for a lot of years. I remember having a teal hat band around my cowboy hat when I was 8 years old, when we used to have horses. And then throughout the years, just loved that collar. Bought a 1992 turquoise Harley, and then purchased the 2017 Harley that's teal. And I just felt like that was my special attraction, was the teal collar. So that's how I came up with the name Teal Appeal. So I had it done in 2021. Since Matt's, I've also included my trailer. I've had it designed up to match the truck. So the inside of the truck and the outside of the truck matches, and now currently the trailer has the same designs going down the sides and the back of it. I've got some future plans, if everything goes right, to adding a few more things before Matt's this coming 2026 year. The trailer is a 2017 Great Dane. It's a reefer trailer. I purchased it, I believe, 2.5 years ago. Two and a half years ago, I purchased it. We've added the designs down the side and the back doors. I've taken the old tanks off and added 2 fuel tanks, had them wrapped. They matched the truck also. Added some quarter fenders, a little chrome here and there, had the rails polished. Still got some work to do to it, but it's definitely coming along, matching the truck up really well. If everything goes right through the winter and I'm able to get a few more things done, I hope to return to Matt's with the truck and the trailer, yes. I'm sure you'll be able to spot me in the crowd. It stands out quite a bit. It's really
it does. It's
coming together. I can't believe all the attention that it's getting. I appreciate everybody's input about it. Really gets emotional. I've done some talks and gotten emotional about it. It's real. The sweat and the tears that go into doing something like that is definitely severe dedication, and you do with some things, but you also do without them.
Well, you've done a great job with it for sure. I can't wait to see what the finished product looks like next year.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a whirlwind, and it's just something after I'd had my trailer done, I was in my buddy Andy's Taylor's driveway, and we just stood back, and he was, he goes, "This is yours. That's your truck right there."
Mm-hmm.
And it really takes a minute to sink in that it is what I've done and accomplished, and it's really been exciting.
There you go. And are you still planning on pretty much parking that truck during the winter and running the 06?
Yeah, I try to run this one as long as I can,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the weather. If it, even in the middle of the winter, if it's nice. Last winter we had several nice days, so I'm able to get in it and drive it. Like I said, I'm also going to try to do a few more things to it this winter.
Yeah.
So
right.
The truck will definitely be down for a month or two to get some what I think some improvements and the final preparation to what I've envisioned of owning my entire life. So it's almost complete, and my wife will definitely be pleased when that day comes.
I can imagine. It's been a tough freight market really since 2022 for a lot of people. What have you seen with your direct customers? How has how has that helped you, or have you seen the same struggles that a lot of people have out here?
Fortunately, I haven't seen a lot of the uh, effects of it as much as the next guy. By hauling direct, I have a rate that I'm with them, and the economy goes up and down, but we pretty much stay the same. Fuel is my biggest thing right now with where I'm at, and fuel's a huge thing with everybody else. But what a lot of people forget, including the brokers, is they all go off the fuel. Well, fuel's down, so rates got to go down. Well, you take guys like me, independent owner operators, and several of my buddies, we all do the same thing. We got the same passion, and the fuel's only a tip of the iceberg. Tires are outrageous. All the parts are just outrageous nowadays. They're 2-3 times the prices that they used to be. Harder to find. It's really difficult to keep a positive attitude and keep going. And all the newcomers coming up, just be prepared. You got to have your mindset and make sure that's really what you want to do. A lot of the pricing is affecting guys. You see every day a place going out of business. Guys have 4, 5, 10 trucks. They just can't make it no more.
Right.
I've also just kept it to my truck, that I'm the only driver. That helps me in my business. Other businesses, can have drivers. I try to just maintain and keep focused on myself and keep one truck, the 2 trucks that I have, in the best condition that I can. And with the market nowadays, it's getting harder and harder. Insurance costs are going up. Like I said, all the prices of parts are going up. I feel the effects for sure.
What kind of fuel mileage are you getting, or are you doing anything to try to bump that up any that you can?
I stay right around 6 miles to a gallon, which is not great, but for an older truck like this one, it's still pretty good. I have 390 rear ends in it, so one of the updates that I'm hoping to get to would be a different ratio of gearing to help that fuel mileage. The business that I'm in, and unfortunately the generations are changing. The older generations are, every year you lose some, unfortunately, and the younger generation just don't seem to have the same ambition to do, go out and dig a flower bed, plant flowers, and buy several flowers at once, and that's what we're trying to sell, is flowers. So each year, I think we feel the effects of it. We're looking for a turnaround soon. Everybody, I'm sure, in other markets and industry, they're feeling the pain too. For all the newcomers, that you really got to decide if it's really what you want to do, and do some homework on it, and maybe talk to some of the older guys. I was fortunate enough, my brother was in the business, and met some friends along the line that was already in the trucking business, and gave me a lot of advice, and good friend of mine, he gets a phone call from me almost every day, and I've always got a question, some type of a question for him. He's still giving me advice, and we've been friends for 35 years now. So yeah, just kind of do your research. Definitely make sure that's something you want to commit to. It takes a huge commitment. Make sure that you're financially prepared to getting started. It's very expensive. I encourage younger drivers to get into it. We need more owner operators again. But definitely you've got to realize that the task at hand, that it's an uphill climb, and you got to be willing to, put in the effort. And I wish them all luck. Anybody that's coming on, the smartest thing you can do is to prepare for the future. And I'm sure somebody probably told me that along the line too when I was younger. But when you're younger, you know everything, and you're never going to be that old guy,
Right.
So
right.
I've got to look at some other avenues to try to come up with, later in life income and to try to retire. But it gets harder every day, and that's the thing. You've got to set yourself up, and I've been looking into couple different aspects of that, but I'll never recover as full as the younger guys. So that's one thing I can suggest, is to definitely have you a plan.
Yeah. Do you have a time frame in mind of how long you want to keep trucking?
No, I don't see myself not trucking. As long as the industry can hold up.
Yeah.
And keep, for us the little guys still in the game, to keep going. Unfortunately, you want to stop, but you just can't. It's something that's just in your blood. It's, a ball player wants to play ball, and, a doctor wants to be a doctor. And then once you get that trucking in your blood, you want to quit, you just can't. And it's just something you do. And you got to live with that every day, to try to talk yourself into it's the right thing to do, and just keep being the best you can. I just try to keep trying to make the best economical decisions, but yet have a little fun along the way. And that's part of the reason coming up with Teal Appeal. The truck was named under the inspiration of my painting up to reflect on my Harley. I did the trailer, so I called my trailer Teal Appeal. And, I joke and I tell people that together they're tilling and chilling. And, my wife, she quit saying that. That's silly. Well, it is, but you got to have a little fun along the way. And that's just fun I like to have.
As noted, we're at the tail end of the 2025 run of Truckers of the Month here in October, with one more coming this week and a whole lot of work to do around determining finalists and the ultimate winner that we'll bring to the Mid-America Trucking Show early next year, the scale model recreation of their truck and the prize of a new Bostrom seat from Trucker of the Year Award sponsors Commercial Vehicle Group and Bostrom Seating. Big thanks to them for their support. You can track back through all of the stories of all of our Truckers of the Month via the Trucker of the Year section of overdriveonline.com. I'll post that link in the show notes wherever you're listening. Overdrive Radio is on Spotify and SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, Overdrive's Facebook page, and any listening platform, really, including the home site at overdriveonline.com/overdrive-radio. Leave us a review there if you're enjoying these, and big thanks in advance for it. Overdrive Radio is a production of Overdrive, the voice of the American trucker. It's edited and produced by me, Todd Dills, with the acoustic guitar and other support trucker-songwriter Long Haul Paul Marhofer. The theme is Legend of the Snake Man by Marhofer, featuring the guitar work of Travis, the Snake Man himself, Whammick, Terry Two Socks Richardson on bass, keys by Tisha Mingo, Jim Whitehead, and on drums, Andrew Marshall. The podcast is backed up further by Overdrive's on social media coordinator, Jasmine Campbell, senior editor, Matt Cole, executive editor, Alex Lockey, and video editors, Lawson Rudisell and Andrew Glenn. See you next week.